Hi, my name is Nader Abdelal. I work in the financial sector in a bank in Bahrain called Bank EPC. My job title is Digital Communication Manager. So, to be able to explain what I do, I need to start in the beginning explaining examples of what communication is, how communication was in the past, and give an example of a good idea being presented using today's methods of communication. So I'll play two videos, one in the middle, one in the end. The first one will be mainly about communication with a little bit of visuals. So in the past, if someone had an idea, the only way for him to take this idea to someone else is by going to that person and talk to him about this idea. The other method was for them to go and write it down on a wall or on a piece of paper that can be sent away using birds or someone on a horse. Some messages have been used in the past by traveling distance using fire, using flags. Later on, inventions happened. Messages used to travel from one to one by phone. After that, there was, of course, the television, the radio, the internet, and everybody was able to send and communicate with everybody else, not only one person to another. So in summary, communication evolved from something that took months to reach from one place to another, from one person to one person, to messages going in a second from one person to the whole planet. Sending messages or stories, let's be consistent. Sending stories out to a lot of people called mass communication. So, how do you send a story out to a lot of people? It depends on the story. What do you want to say? What's the best way to deliver the story? How can you grab the attention of people if everybody is talking? If you are sitting in a room and everybody is saying or talking at the same time, you can only hear one, not all. So your message, when it comes, it needs to come in a way to grab attention if needed, convince sometimes if it is an idea that you need to fight for, like environment, for example. So some stories are better delivered as text, others might be by audio, and most recent, not only video, you'll need the support of motion graphics with something called infographics, which is when you have a subject that has a lot of details, but just by writing it down or saying it will not be easy to have people to understand it. So infographics helps people to deliver complicated messages that can be easily understood by young and old because it has a lot of visuals in it. How do we create such visuals? There are a lot of tools. So I'll show you examples of some of them really fast. Let's start now. So you have a company called Adobe, and this company creates a lot of applications that can help create illustrations, generate photos, create magazines, newspapers. They have also applications that can help create videos, create animations, graphics, in addition to creating layouts for applications in the phone, websites. You can do stuff in 2D, 3D, or even augmented reality. If you are interested in learning some of those techniques, they have a lot of free material on YouTube. You can just write Adobe or Adobe Creative Cloud and you'll find a lot of videos that can guide you and help you if you are interested to take this creativity on. But the most important thing sometimes is not the tool that you use. You might not have paid tools or tools that are used by professionals. You might have a good message that you want to deliver to everybody else in the school, for example, that a piece of paper on the wall or a drawing that can be copied and sent to classes can bring this message on. So let's take an example of a cause or an idea or something that a little people know about, and how can we in 2 minutes make them understand what the idea is, what's the issue, and maybe what's the solution. So this is an example of a short illustration made as a campaign for color blindness. Let's watch it together.
Color vision deficiency is an under-recognized and poorly understood condition. We see color through specialized cells in our eyes called cones. Humans have 3 of these cones that absorb red, blue, and green light respectively. While people with normal vision will see the full visual spectrum, people with monochromacy see only one color. Dichromacy is the inability to see 2 colors. Anomalous trichromacy is the inability to distinguish 3 different colors. These 3 types of color blindness have several subtypes. Deuteronomy is the most common of them. Color blindness affects about 1 in 12 people. It is more common in men than women because it is linked to the X chromosome. A carrier mother and a non-affected father can have a carrier daughter, a non-affected daughter, a non-affected son, or a colorblind son. The mother can pass either a normal gene or an affected gene to her children. In order for a daughter to be colorblind, she needs to inherit the gene from both parents. Colorblindness can also be caused by eye injuries, diabetes, pressure to the optic nerve, cataracts, as well as drugs and other medications. The most well-known color blindness test is called the Ishihara test. Because this test uses numbers, it is not suitable for younger children. The Farnsworth Lantern test and Farnsworth Munsell tests are other tests used around the world. These tests require identifying and organizing different colors. People with color vision deficiencies often have trouble with tasks such as choosing clothes, picking fruit, dealing with traffic, or becoming a pilot. The risk of becoming colorblind varies by ethnicity. For example, European and North American Caucasians are more likely to become colorblind than those of Chinese or Japanese descent. There are several treatments for color blindness, such as corrective lenses, devices that translate color into sound, as well as numerous tablet and mobile applications. There are even special languages that assign different shapes to different colors, such as the ColorAd system used in Portugal. Most people won't realize that they're colorblind. If you suspect that you suffer from a color vision deficiency, check with your eye doctor. While not considered a serious disability, this condition can disrupt everyday life and in some cases pose a serious safety hazard.
So this is an example of a message using infographics in motion to describe an issue, what is color blindness, and who gets it, how it's not a disease that you get infected, it's something that comes from the gene, from your parents, and at the end tell you that there are tools to test yourself. For example, this website here is a mean of communication for the same cause. It gives you a test that if we can play it together, if someone can't see the triangle here, that means you have an issue with this color. Or that color. So if anyone doesn't see any of those shapes, he needs to go and do a test. This is a free test on the web. I'm not gonna do the whole test. Just close this. So let's go back. So in conclusion, my job is to use modern technologies to deliver stories with the objective of public awareness, raising the awareness of a cause, a service, a product, anything that can benefit the masses or benefit the organization, and sometimes benefit both.